Thank you, Dr. Vandana. So a very warm welcome again to CMA Monday Musings number 453. CMA Monday Musings is the flagship program of the Coimbatore Management Association. It has been running non-stop for over a decade, and we are now into this 453rd edition, where we have an eminent speaker, Mr. Hariprasad Kandaswamy, who is the senior manager from the Schneider Electric India Private Limited, to speak a few words about the consummate professional that Mr. Hariprasad is. He has 17 plus years of experience in HR core functions like enabling business, wellness, talent acquisition and search, both in India and abroad, blue collar skill development, employee relations, and psychology. He is also, interestingly, the HR partner for the Coimbatore unit of Schneider. He is passionate about coaching, mentoring, student career guidance, self-branding, CSR, and sustainability. Among his accomplishments include, he is a certified Thomas personal profile analysis and competency mapping specialist. And the topic of his address is very interesting, something that all of us strive to do, trying to connect to the Gen Z, the Gen Z, which includes the millennials and stuff. So he will talk to you about the HR practices for the Gen Z, how to connect with the Gen Z, how to understand them in terms of their work requirements, how to retain them, and also align them to the organizational objectives. Again, a warm welcome to you, Mr. Hariprasad. Over to you. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Prashant, for that wonderful introduction, and thank you, Vandana, and thank you, CMA, for this opportunity. First of all, a very happy and prosperous New Year to all of you. So let me put up my slides, and then let us start for the interesting topic of the day. Vidya, I'm not able to share my screen. Can you help me with that?
Yeah, just give me a second. Yeah, I think you can go ahead now.
Yeah, I'm able to. Yeah. Hope my screen is visible and audible.
Yeah, you are audible. I think your screen will take a little time. Right now, it's not visible.
Okay, okay.
I think it is going
so please
on.
Let me know once you're able to see, so that I can. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's taking time.
One way is maybe you can conserve bandwidth with switching off your video for a minute.
Okay.
It may help. May. Yeah, you got it.
Fine.
Now we can see. Now we can see. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Prashant. So today we are into an interesting topic, which is a role of HR in the Gen Z era. Because most of the time, like after the millennium year, after 2000, we keep talking about millennials, and then by now, like we keep talking about 90 kids or 80s kids or 2K kids currently. So what is this generation about, and what are all the problems we are facing, or what is that we are missing to understand about them? So all these questions will have an answer today in my session. So let's first understand them. Like what is this Gen Z generation, and what they are, how they are differing from the other generation of the like the other generation of the millennials and other baby boomers or Gen X or Gen Y per se. So before I start with my presentation, I have a question for you all. So please, just you can just open your mic and then messages on the chat box. What is the best memory you can recollect now from your life? So what is that best memory you carry forward and which you can recollect it at this moment? I'll give you a minute so you can just post your responses. Nothing is coming from your memory. So what is your best memory? Vidya, can you help me with the chat?
Yes, sir. Participants, do
You can
come
just post
forward.
you can just post it can be anything. What is your best memory which you think that at this moment?
It's a little difficult, I think. It's difficult to recollect.
Okay.
So one of my best memories
So
is
you do okay.
the
Anyway,
birth of my
you can
children.
just post it. Maybe I can. Uh, yeah, you don't have to prepare and then answer me.
So Sri
Yeah.
Lakshmi has said that the day when I got a pet, and then Dr. Vandana is saying travel, meeting my childhood friends. And Deepika
I'm
Shri says
sorry.
school days. Yes, sir, it's all on the chat.
I'm getting the responses. School days, the days when I got a pet. Okay. Travel, meeting travel, meeting. Let us move on and get in. May I ask this?
So I think you are on mute.
No, I just got one minute. Yeah, you're able to see my screen now.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, sorry for that. I just got lost for a moment. So just keep as and when you receive the memory from your whatever you walk down your memory lane and then bring it. The reason for asking is everyone will have a memory as per their generation. So if you ask me, I will also quote my school days or the bus I traveled or the school friends, the Sorry, I got disconnected. You're able to see my screen now?
Yes, sir. But your audio is a little, it's not coming in.
Yeah. Okay. Is it okay now? Maybe I will switch off my camera for a moment so that I get the bandwidth. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So is it okay now?
Much better, sir.
Am I audible?
You are.
Deep dive into the yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So let's deep dive into the subject. So who are these Gen Zs? So these are the classification of various generations. We have the baby boomers, we have the Gen X, we have the Gen Y, and the Gen Z. So these are all the year-wise classifications based on the. It starts from the silence generation, where they belong to the World War I, and the baby boomers from 1946 to 64, and Generation X, which is in 1963 to and the millennials in 1981 to 96, and then comes the Zoomers or Generation X, and now we have even reached a place where we have Generation Alpha. They belong to the mid 2020s from early 2010. So we are this generation Gen Z people, or the sons or daughters or of the Gen X. So ideally it will be like that only. So we are focusing more on the Gen Zs. So let's deep dive into their each and every aspect or the dimensions of these Gen Zs. One is the family background. So if we just look back on our family background and then parenting, what we how we have been brought up, it will be a joint family, and then we will have all put together, and the main occupation will be either into corporates or manufacturing, or into professionals, and there will be a lot of siblings, and they will all be together. But as the generation passes, and then now it is more of a nuclear generation, and especially this Gen Zs are brought up in a place where they are not connected with people at all. They have been brought up inside the four walls, mostly in apartments or in independent houses or villas or whatever. Both the parents will be working, either professional or business or whatever, and the kid will be somewhere they'll be having siblings. Sometimes they will not have siblings also. There will be a single child, and most of the time they will be surrounded by gadgets rather than people, or they don't have any old age. Because if you think on our generations, we will have grandparents to nurture us, and then we have a lot of memories uh, being and playing with them, and then doing all mischievous in that. But today the opportunities is very less, because most of the times only during weekends, and they devote a separate time for the kids, and then say that we are going for an outing, and then have a lunch together or dinner together. Otherwise we will not have time even to meet and say hi, or good evening, or good morning in the home. So that's the reality, and how this Gen Ys have been brought up. And this generation is the generation who believes that there is no world which existed without internet. So coming to the education background. So education background, earlier it is like more of experiential learning, and then we used to learn from our peers and other like friends or other students about any topic, and we have sharing, we have lunch together, and we have a lot of sharing, and we learn a lot of life skills also, because we have experiences where we go to the pond, we go to for fishing and other activities, extracurricular activities. Sports will be predominant at that time, but now it is more of chasing for marks and grades or ranks, and it's only competitive, it's only a race which is being done, and they have been subject to pressure, and then even if they like it or they don't like it, they have been subjected to any training. It may be a sports class, or a dance class, or a Veena class, or whatever they feel that is apt for them, and which is competitive in the market. They wanted to give it to the kids. So that's how these Gen Ys are being bought. And then apart from this, there is a whole new market which is emerging based on the education system currently which is prevailing, which is all the edutech companies. So they say that they keep boosting your brain, and then they make your brain function, kids brain function very fast, and then all these number calculations, everything they keep giving it as a package, and then they sign off for a LKG or UKG kit till they reach their 5th grade. So that has been practice, and most of them, since it is a competitive environment, all the parents get carried away by this, and then they buy it for their kids, but they don't. So they don't realize that they need the experiential learning, activity based learning. So that is the reality for this Gen Ys. So these are all some of the characteristics of Gen Zs. One, they are very social, and they are multitaskers. So they do a lot of activities at a single point in time, and then they like to become entrepreneurs. They want to be independent, and they are well educated. They keep learning, and it is transformed more than learning degrees. They learn skills. Whatever skills are there, the skills they learn it in very short time, and they want to keep constantly on the move to learn new things. And they are philanthropists. They are well connected with the society, and they are volunteer for a lot of social activities. And they are digital natives, as I told. They are the internet generation, so obviously they are tech savvy, and then they want to uh, they are very conversant with all the digital gadgets, and interactive. They interact with all people, and tech savvies, as I mentioned earlier, and less focused, because they are tech savvies and they are hooked to all the gadgets. The attention span is coming down, and they cannot read anything. For example, if you give a book and then ask them to read 10 pages a day, they will find it very difficult. But rather they can listen to a music, or they can do some programming or coding in a moment, because their attention span is very less. And they are very cautious of future, and whatever they want to save for future, they are very particular about their future. In an environment, or in any corporate, if they work, they are very cautious of their future plans. So coming to getting little deeper into their personalities, one thing I notice in Gen Zs is they require immediate gratification. So whatever they want, it is immediate. They don't wait for that moment, and they don't delay their gratification. They all, because you can just imagine, and then like how we got our gratifications. So most of the time we get our I just quote an example. Imagine there is a festival which is coming up, like Pongal or Diwali, we'll get our new dresses only that time, once in a year or twice in a year. But today it is not the case. So immediately on a click of a button, they can just get order or whatever dresses they want, like one smartwatch and after another, and a few mobiles, and they change mobiles within 2 months or 3 months of time, and they keep switching. So that is being done. And apart from that, they keep changing their gadgets, and they buy expensive gadgets without even there is a need. For example, for taking Instagram pictures or any small selfie or something, they want to buy a DSLR or expensive DSLR, and of late it will be unused and then lying at the corner of the house all the time. So this is one big problem which we have to be mindful of, the Gen Zs, that is they require immediate gratification. Second is the peer pressure. So why they buy, because they've got it, their relatives have got it. So it is mainly the peer pressure. So if someone is doing something, I also wanted to do that. He is studying in that school, so I have to study in that school. So he has got an iPhone, so I also have to get an iPhone. So that's how it has been popular. And then they are, but at the end of the day, they get into this peer pressure, and if at all, if their parents are not able to afford, or if they are facing disappointment, they get into depression. So this is one big problem which I foresee in the Gen Z. Next is relationship issues, because the age and the era, because they are in the digital era, they face a lot of digital issues. I've put this image because this is the current trending, and it's a good film which speaks more on the trust issues, because all these relationship, it is not they are not very clear, and they are not very open. Most of the time they hide a lot of things, and then they get into immediate decisions, and breakups happen, and then patchups happen. So all these things, they want to immediately experience, and then go through all these things, and they get into serious troubles, and then even into depression, or even into other problems because of these kind of relationship issues. Next is since they belong to the digital era, of course they've been hooked to the social media. But social media posting, most of the time they expect validation from their friends, from their followers. They want 1 million followers, and then they want to post all reels, and then because it is most of the time what happens is, in case if they don't get that validation, if they don't get that approval from the followers or their network, they get depressed, and then they are into a problem. So most of the time it will be only fake, and they get as I mentioned earlier, there is a lot of peer pressure and then immediate gratification which will play around. So most of the time, based on that, so peer pressure, so if their friends or any others whom they follow on the social media gets more likes and shares, they also want to get the same thing. In case if that doesn't happen, they get disappointed, and they get into depression mode. So social media has to be used, and apart from this, there are a lot of cyber security and issues which is happening day in and day out. We keep reading that in the like medias and news channels. So mainly the source is that we keep posting, and most of the time we get into an extent that we post all the private stuff on the internet, and then we get into trouble. So this generation is vulnerable to these kind of activities. Fine. So we have seen all aspects about their personality, their family background, their education, all these things. Now let us come to the workplace. So because that is the topic for the day. So how these Gen Zs are behaving, or what is their expectations in the workplace? So once they get into a workplace, what is their expectations? So number one, they look for attractive compensation. So they want a very good package, very good pay for them, and then apart from that, they look for career growth. So immediately in the interview itself, they ask that what is the future plan and what this company goes in. So if the company or if the organization is not able to uh, have a clear career path in, then the retention of Gen benefits. So what all the benefits we get, what is the recognition system we have, what is the reward system we have, and what are all the benefits we give, perks and other benefits which we give for the employees, that they are very particular. And of course they want fun at work. They don't want a monotonous work wherein you come to the office at 8 o'clock and then leave by 5 or 6, and then a day long work. They don't prefer that. They want fun activities, they want some engagement, and they want some mix and match. They want to spend some time for fun activities and then make workplace more fun. So I recently read the article because Infosys was completing 40 years, and in the interview of Mr. Narayana Murthy, he was sharing that he used to go to office at 6:20 and then return back at 9 or 9:30 in the evening. So that's how he has been working all through the years till the retirement. Gen Zs, that's not going to happen at all, and we can see. And then of course they practice in any organization, whether this organization is giving a pay equity, and whether there is inclusion, whether there is a diversity framework available in the organization. They are very particular on that. And they also look on the social aspects, which the environment or the sustainability aspects, whether this company is sustainable, whether this organization can sail through all the odds, and then like be very strong, and then whether my future can be ensured in this organization on the sustainability aspects. So these are all some of the expectations which any corporate has to be prepared, because the Gen Zs will expect all these things. This will be basic. There are more things to come, but predominantly these 6 aspects have to be checked before we plan to recruit, or we plan to deploy Gen Zs in our organization. Next is the emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence is one quality which I see that emotional intelligence is like not. I won't say it is not present. It is actually the balance is not maintained, and they don't have that maturity to handle pressures, handle issues. I can just share one story or from my experience, which I had in my organization. There was sorry, there was a
Yeah, I think some connection issues.
employee working. We
We can't hear you.
employee she was a
Mr. Hari Prasad, we can't hear you. Your voice is coming broken.
Is it okay now? Can you confirm?
Now,
yeah.
Yes.
now we can hear you.
Okay, all right. Sorry for that. So, I was just sharing. She was posted in Kolkata, and then she asked for a transfer to Coimbatore. Her hometown is Kerala. Then she was posted in last couple of months back, and she was working in design department, and suddenly last week her manager called me and told that she wants to resign. So I told that I wanted to discuss with her, and then I called her for a discussion. And then while I was checking, she was saying that the food is not good. I'm not able to manage. I'm getting health issues, so I'm not able to do it. So I told her, so if you really have health issues, you just take a break, maybe for a week or so, and then consult your doctor. And then in Snyder, we have a concept of work from anywhere, because we and since she is in the design department, that is possible. So I told to work out a plan and then talk to her manager, and once she's okay and all right, and then she can any time come back and then join the team, and then start with her regular course of work. But she was very reluctant, and she told that no, I wanted to quit. I am very firm. I will find something near my home, and I will want to continue there. So this, because all efforts, everything we have done, and finally it all goes waste, because it is only the emotional balance is missing. So because they want immediate gratification, and they want immediate solutions, and they are not ready to listen any solution which is been given. They don't even want to think through. They want to take or pick up the easy way out. So that's what I see in this story. So emotional intelligence is one area which the Gen Zs have to work, and then while managing them, we have to be very cautious and mindful of their emotional state of mind, and what kind of emotional balance that person has, that has to be known if you are the HR of that plant. So next is the diversity, equity, and inclusion. Today, it has become a hot topic across all corporates, and most of the companies wants to implement this practice. Diversity, equity, and inclusion doesn't uh, mean that it is only increasing the women population. Apart from that, there are a lot of things. You have to create environment, you have to create that welfare facilities for all the people, and there should be pay equity, there should be inclusiveness. So a lot of things are around, and especially the the Gen Zs are very particular about these practices while they want to get into any job. Next is the thanks to COVID, the work from home, or the virtual culture have online, or the digital culture have developed, and as a part of that, many companies including Snyder have moved to new ways of working. So new ways of working is nothing but like how you can be flexible enough in your working hours, and then focus on outcome rather on the attendance. So most of the Gen Zs prefer this only. So immediately they will ask that whether we have a work from home, or a hybrid model, or a flexible work hours model, because they want to balance between their work and life, and they always prefer that. So they are not okay with a fixed schedule where you follow from 8 to 6 or 9 to 6 or whatever practices which is currently prevailing. So if you want to engage them, then you will have to change the policies accordingly, and which will factor the new ways of working. Next is conflicts. Most of the time this happens when in big organizations, including L&T or L&T Electrical and Automation, I would say. A lot of all generations which I showed earlier in the slide will have this kind of conflict, because it will have all the generation. It will have baby boomers, it will have Gen X and Gen Y and Gen Zs all working together, and there will be a lot of things, because once in a meeting or in a gathering, they will put forward their own point. But most of the time, since the baby boomers and Gen X are molded, or they've been aligned to a kind of culture, they will have a conflict in the organization. So these things we have to be very clear, and then we will have to address those conflicts and then understand and give them that space and opportunity, so that they will come up with very bright ideas which will be helpful for the organization. And next is the entrepreneurship. They all the Gen Z people, they want to become entrepreneurs. They doesn't want to join a company and then retire in the same company, unlike all our previous generation people. So they are very clear. They want to work for several years and then learn some hot skills, and then do a startup. And today the environment also supports that. They go for crowdfunding, or they go for this venture capitalists. And if they have a very good idea, definitely they can do a startup. And then a lot of examples are there, and prevailing in the market, and new startups are emerging day by day. So it's an era, and it is a healthy environment also, because it contributes for the economy of the nation as well. But only thing is that if the fundamentals have to be very strong, and while they become an entrepreneur, they should have that maturity, and then they should have that kind of strategic thinking to handle all the problems, because every time it won't be rosy pictures, or it won't be a favorable environment while they do a business. Because beginning it may be good for several years, and after that, once they face a crisis, they should be able to mitigate that, and then get back on track and align towards the objective. So this is again one more principle which has been picking up in the recent past, which is called as FIRE, financial independence and retire early. All these Gen Zs doesn't want to work for 30 years, 40 years. Like even my business head have worked more than 30, 35 years in the same organization. But today it is not a reality anymore. So most of them want to work for several years, and then they learn investing. Apart from the traditional ways of investing, they get into ways of investing where they leverage the power of compounding, and they create a corpus, and then they wanted to retire early, maybe in early 40s or 45. So that's the plan of Gen Zs today. And this gig economy is also picking up. So what is that you need to know about gig economy is this is one type of employees, or one type of resources which is slowly gathering importance, because thanks to COVID, because a lot of content marketing and the digital marketing, all these concepts, and like e-commerce, everything have got emerged, and then they started doing it. And while you're doing one job, you can just stick to a company, and then you keep working for the company till you retire, or till you wanted to work for the company for several years. But once in a gig economy, you can work for several companies, do multiple projects, you can develop your skills, and then spend time with family, and you will have your personal time. You can plan for your vacation, so everything is possible. And this is what the Gen Z's like to have their life. So that is the reason gig economy is picking up. And in Snyder, we have started this concept, and we are, as a pilot in Bangalore factories and offices, we are trying this model. So soon this will get flourished on all our factories and offices across India. So because we have to cope up with the growing generation, and then that is how we will have to frame our objectives in the coming days. So with that, I have come to the end of the session. So I will park here for some questions, and then I think we can close the session. So thank you so much for the opportunity. Hope it added value for all of you. So I'll pause here for some questions. Vidya, over to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. So can you explain? I didn't get the concept about the gig economy. Can you just explain it a little more?
Okay. Full-time employment being given. Gig economy is being given to. I have a management. Hello. Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Can you hear? Yeah. So
Just now,
sorry.
you were breaking.
Yeah. No, actually, you can imagine if I have any project in, we have a department called contract management group. So in that department, there will be a lot of role or a lot of projects where we don't require a full-time employee. So what we can do is it will be more of a skill based. So we will find a person like retired employees, or who has already and who can come for several hours in a day, and we will sign a contract with him, and for that contract he will be paid the remuneration. So that's how this works. And likewise, he can have multiple projects signed off, and then they can earn more income, and at the same time they can manage their time as well.
More like freelancers, sir?
Exactly.
Okay.
And companies are coming forward, and all corporates are working towards this model because it is very beneficial for them, as they don't need to have a permanent resource all the time, and then the cost will not be their cost will not go waste, and then there will not be a problem, and they can manage and optimize their resources and cost of resources.
Okay. Thank you,
Have I
sir.
answered your question? Yeah, thanks.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
That was a very insightful session, Hari Prasad. One question I would like to ask is: do you take some, special initiatives to attract and retain and develop, some initiatives from your end for these new generation employees?
No, actually, our GETs, all the graduate engineering trainees, fall under this generation only. And what we do is we do a lot of campus recruitment initiatives. In the sense, we have designed a model for them. We do branding, and then we create an induction program which runs almost for close to 7-8 months. And it is programmed in it has been designed in such a way that it will accommodate more practical factory visits, and then interaction with all the leaders, and then they will have a lot of get-togethers, and then informal. So it is been designed in such a way to attract the talent in this generation. And apart from that also, once they have been meetings with the leaders, and then that make them settling in. But still, it's a challenge only. I say at the same time, it becomes a challenge when it comes to personal issues like medical issues, or other location constraints. We are still trying to address that way.
Okay, one more question, maybe before others ask you. Do you
Please.
do you face any
Yeah.
intergenerational conflicts? Because the maybe Gen X and the other earlier generations, they are more into
Yes,
hard work, and their expectations are different. And the younger generation, their approach to work is different. And when you will find that most of their superiors are from the earlier generations. So do you think that there are a lot of intergenerational conflicts
Yes.
which happen? So how do you tackle that?
No, definitely. In meetings or in no, that we have to address it we will have to explain it to the functional heads, or the department heads, and then tell them that this is what
Your voice is coming broken.
they wanted to do, and give their ideas, and then we also in such a way, and then create that space for them. Hello, am I audible, Vandana?
Yes,
Hello.
yes, you're audible. In between, I think
Yeah.
some connectivity issues are there.
Yeah.
So in between,
No,
it just
yeah.
Yeah, I understand. So
I
you
don't know.
prefer
There
to
is
orient
some network
issue.
issues, I guess. Yeah.
So
I'm
I
sorry.
understand that I
No,
understand that
I
prefer
just.
prefer to orient the other generation, the older generation, rather than the younger one. What I understand from you.
No, the younger one also we will just tell them. So we will just create that channel. We'll have meetings with them, because as soon as the guy or girl or whoever joins will be introduced to the top leader of the organization, and they will have interactions, and then slowly we'll have to break that barriers in communication. And we'll also have to tell the Gen Zs that you don't take hasty decisions, and then don't bog down by their immediate, because they have been used to a particular format, and then for several years they have worked in culture. So with that, if they say that immediately we should not refuse, so that to create that space as a HR, I have to play a great role there. Have I answered?
Okay. Yes. Any other questions from the participants? You may also type it in the chat box, or you can unmute and then ask. I think there are no questions.
Okay.
So we'll close. So
So
thank
only
you so much.
only on two incidences you will not have questions. Once you understand everything, or you don't understand anything.
No, it is not a matter of not understanding. That was very interesting. It was simple to know that it was not complicated. So, so there are certain limitations of online interactions.
No, I just, yeah.
Okay, very interesting. And the way you explained, maybe we need another session to know how do you really
I
tackle
understand.
the
I
younger
understand.
generation.
No issues.
Yes, and
No,
so,
anyway, yeah.
because most of them
Yeah.
may be the younger
So,
generation. So they may be perplexed when you're telling
yes.
that these are the things. But anyway, it was a very interesting
No,
session.
it is have to be, yeah. Yes. No, we have to look it in multiple dimensions, Vandana, because it has lot of factors to it. It has lot of reasons contributing to their existence, because it starts from their childhood. It starts from their parenting, their education, and then the way they perceive, and then they get into this. So that emotional balance also have to be ensured. But before they realize that, the other person, or the person who engages them, have to be clear about that. Then it will be very easy to handle them.
Yes, I'm sure. You're right. We need to also, put ourselves in their shoes, or maybe empathize, and then also accept the fact that their approach to things are different from our approach. And the way the earlier generations have been brought up, definitely that's not the way the younger generation is brought up. Earlier there was a lot of struggle, a lot of hard work needs to be there, but now also hard work is there, but it's a different approach. Many of the things that our generation or the earlier generation had to struggle to get, that is very easily available to them, so they don't have to now focus on all those things. So yes, that we also need to understand, and perhaps then we'll be able to engage them better.
Yes.
And then reduce the conflicts also in the organizations, which comes from different generations interacting.
Fine. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having taken time off to be with us amongst your busy schedule. Thank you for accepting also. Sure.
Thank you, Vandana. Thanks.
We'll look forward to many more sessions
Yeah.
and interactions with you. Thank you, Vidya, for being a host and organizing this. And I also thank Dr. Prashant. I think I'm not sure whether he's there, for introducing the guest speaker. And thank you, everyone who has joined us today. Thank you for your attention. Thank you all. Thank you.
Yeah. Definitely. Thank you, Vandana. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thanks, CMA and Prashant and Vidya, for all the support. I've just left my coordinates here. So if you have any questions, or you want to connect with me, definitely you can feel free to connect with me anytime. So thank you so much, and look forward to more such sessions, and happy to address the participants. Thank you, and have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you, Dr. Vandana. Thank you, all our participants. Good night.